Cooking at Pam's Place. We are getting ready to make oxtail stew my way. It's a little bit different. I won't be making a roux, and it really won't be tomato based either, but it is so delicious. Right now, I'm just cutting off the excess fat from my oxtails. Make sure they're cleaned as you saw me doing in the beginning. I like to get them nice and clean with some lemon juice. But before we get started, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Take a second and subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification bell so you won't miss anything. Thank you so much to all of my returning subscribers and channel members. Okay, so you want to trim off any of the excess fat. You want to leave some on there because that fat is going to render down and it's going to be your flavor bomb. Yes. Okay, all this extra fat though, you can go ahead and trim that off. So I'm going to get these trimmed up and we'll be right back. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is sear off our oxtails. You want them to be nice and good and brown and have a nice crust on them. I am using my non-stick cast iron skillet, and therefore I'm going to be cooking it on low to medium. You never want to cook on a non-stick cast iron skillet on high heat, but I am using Strength Genesis Macadamia Nut Oil because it is a high heat. It will give it a good sear. So I'm going to just put about a tablespoon or two in here. Not much. You don't need much at all. We're going to let this go ahead and heat up. I'm going to grab the oxtails and I'll be right back. While your skillet is heating up, go ahead and season your oxtails on all sides just with salt and pepper. You don't want to be adding any garlic powder or anything like that because when you're searing it off, it will burn. Now, if you want to go ahead and add the garlic powder and onion powder in there, go ahead, but don't tell me, don't say I didn't tell you it's going to burn. So just put a little salt and pepper on there. If you're using your hands like I am, make sure they're clean. Yes, I always like to add a little salt and pepper because actually it helps form a nice crust, nice golden brown crust. Work in batches and put your oxtails right down in there. Let them sear. Don't move them, leave them undisturbed. You want to make sure you sear them on all sides. It's probably about time. This has been about maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Take a look at that. That's what you're looking for. See that good sear? Now you need to do that on all sides. So we're going to flip them over. Then we're going to do the actual sides. Look how beautiful this one is. Look how beautiful that is. Doesn't that look amazing? These are pretty much ready, and I just want you to see how that is seared on all sides. You don't just want to sear the top and the bottom. Sear it on all sides. Okay, so we'll remove the last of our oxtails out of here. Ooh. And now we are going to saute our trinity, our vegetables. Sure you sear even the little ones. I know it's not much on there, but as they cook down, there's flavor in the bones, and so we want to use those. Onions first and saute those just until they're translucent. Oh, this smells amazing. The oxtails smell amazing. Okay, now we're going to go in with our green bell pepper, and you can use any color bell pepper you want. I just like to use the green, as well as our celery. We're going to continue to cook this until they are just a little tender, maybe like fork tender. Now I'm going to go in with maybe about half a tablespoon of tomato paste. I don't want my gravy, so to speak, to be tomato based. I want it to be like a brown gravy. but this tomato paste is going to add an amazing flavor. So we just want to go ahead and saute these veggies with this tomato paste in here for about 5 minutes. Go ahead at this point in time and preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure you have a top available. If you don't have a top that goes to your Dutch oven or pot, make sure your pot can go in the oven. Then you can simply put foil over the top of it, but you will need to cover it while it's in the oven. Okay, so now you want to go ahead and add back in your oxtails. Go ahead, make sure you put all the juices in there as well. Beef broth, and make sure you pour your beef broth in. You can turn your stove off at this time because after we get this beef broth in here, we're going to put it in the oven. That was 4 cups of beef broth, and I'm actually going to add just a little bit more, about a half a cup more. Okay, so I've done it again, y'all. Okay, so I've done it again, y'all. Turned around, and this is sitting on my counter. It is garlic. So we need to get our garlic in there. I am going to just take a tad bit of oil in a regular skillet, and I'm going to saute the garlic just until it's fragrant and just a tad bit softened, 30 seconds, maybe a minute. Then I'm just going to sneak into my oven and put it in the pot. Okay? The garlic should go in with your onions, green peppers, celery, and things of that nature. Don't do like I do. Do like I say. Okay? Okay, so we've got our potatoes and some carrots here. Now, traditionally, a sweet potato does not go in oxtail stew, but it is amazingly delicious. I love, love, love to have sweet potatoes in my stew, whether it's beef stew, oxtail stew, it doesn't matter. Delicious. Also, traditionally, you may find a scotch bonnet or a habanero pepper in the oxtail stew, but my husband doesn't like heat, so we won't be including that. But feel free to add that spice if you like to. I typically will just add a few red pepper flakes to my actual bowl and just heat it up with that in there. So I am going to go ahead and get these peeled while we are in our first hour and a half prep for the second half. I will put these in some cold water and let them hang out there. And also, to cut up my potatoes, I'm gonna bring you in a little bit closer, but I'll be using my Nakano knife. This is amazing. It's nice and sharp. The handle is smooth and it's just heavy enough. I will leave a link to this particular knife and other Nakano knives down in the description, and you can get a 30% discount off for the holidays using my code Chef Pam. So I will have all that down there just in case you're looking to add a few things to your gift giving list. Okay, I'm gonna get these peeled and then we'll be right back. So while our oxtail stew is finishing up, I am making some cornbread. Got plenty of cornbread recipes on my channel, so I didn't show the whole thing. But I did want to come on and mention to you guys, whenever you're making cornbread, if you want to get that maximum rise on the cornbread, the maximum crown, after you get your batter all mixed up and it's ready to go, let it sit. Let it sit for about 5 minutes and then give it another quick stir. Go ahead, put it in your pan, bake it as usual. That will ensure that you get the maximum crown on your cornbread, okay? Look at that, look at that. They are still not tender, but they are on their way. We've got 2 more steps to go after we add our potatoes and things in there. We're going to thicken it up, had about 15 minutes left, and add 1 more ingredient. It's time for us to add in our potatoes and things. You could surely take your pot out to do this, but I just like to leave mine in. It's a heavy hot pot, so the least amount of time I need to take it out is best for me. Just slowly adding these in. I'm going to mix them all in there. Get them all down in there. Mix it around. And now what we're going to do is take some of our potatoes out. We're actually going to mash them. It's okay if you get some of the carrots in there. You just want to get some of the potatoes out so that we can mash them. This is going to allow us to thicken our stew naturally. And then we've got about maybe 30 more minutes to go on here. You don't need to take a lot of it out, but you can take as much or as little out as you want. You can do this with a fork, a potato masher, whatever you have. Just go ahead and mash this up. This is going to create a thickener without putting any flour or cornstarch in our dish. Mash it up really good, and we're going to add it right on back to the pot. Next, I'm just going to add in my green peas. These are frozen green peas. And you can add as much or as little as you like, or not at all. I like to add them in last, in the last 30 minutes or so, because they don't take much and I don't want them to be mushy. So just stir that mixture in, making it thick. As you can see, it's starting to thicken up even though it's not even cooking down yet. If you feel you need to thicken it up more, just take some more out and mash it up. You just don't want to mash it all up because you need some for your actual stew. And because I like mine to be a little bit more like brown gravy, I'm going to add in a little kitchen bouquet. You don't have to add it in, but I like to add it in because I love that color and the flavor. So just go ahead and give that a stir. We're going to put this back in the oven for an additional 30 to 45 minutes. Then we should be good to go. Ooh, this smells amazing. Oh my goodness. Okay, we are all done. Oh my goodness. It smells amazingly delicious. Whoo, did y'all see that close up? Oh my goodness, this is so delicious. Whoo, we're gonna get us a plate and do us a taste test. And while I am serving this up in my bowl, if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. Oh my goodness, this is amazingly delicious. Ooh, for all of you all who are returning, thank you so much for coming yet once again, hanging out here with me in my kitchen today. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look amazing? Ooh, it smells so delicious. Oh, channel members, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, this is simply amazing, amazing, amazing. Oh, yes. Now let me cut some cornbread. And as I mentioned before, a lot of people serve this over rice. They add beans in it. I just like it like this, my way. Yes. Oxtail stew my way. Oh my goodness. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Ooh. Yes. And look at that cornbread. Doesn't that look delicious? does. Oh my goodness. Ooh, let me let you guys get a close-up on this picture. Doesn't that look amazing? Oh, I wish you all had smell-o-vision. Okay. Ooh, without further ado, let me show you how tender this is. Oh, baby. Yes. Ooh, reaching over this hot pot. Okay, so you all can see how tender this is. Look at that. It's just falling off the bone. Look at that. Look at how tender that is. Oh my goodness. Okay. Time for us to do our taste test. Ooh, y'all know this is hot, right? Oh my goodness. But it smells so delicious. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Y'all know I'm getting ready to have a feast. Gotta get a little cornbread. Oh my goodness. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Ooh, oh my goodness. Ooh, delicious, delicious, delicious. Ooh, I got my tea all ready, and I am ready. So I will see you all next time. The good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Bye-bye.